All right, y'all, we're going to take a look at this Boudoir Facebook ad, see if it has BLCS, aka Boudoir Low-Click Syndrome. And Boudoir Low-Click Syndrome is when the unique CTRL of our Boudoir Facebook ad is under 6%. So this is how many women out of 100 our Boudoir Facebook ad is actually entering their brain. So if it's under 6%, we got problems. Above 6%, that's actually where we need to be. And we know this because this metric is actually the amount of women that click somewhere on our ad out of 100. And we know if they're not clicking on our ad, they just scroll down by. So our ad definitely did not enter their brain. So we need more women clicking on our ad out of 100 to know our ad gets in their brain, because that's the only possible way they'll buy from us. So unique CTRL, BLCS is what we care about. And it's because a unique CTRL under 6% is not normal. It's actually the symptom of a deeper root cause. And that deeper root cause are the 3 pre-click mistakes, the 3 PCM. So we're building up our universe there in the diagram. And we also know that a Boudoir Facebook advertiser with BLCS is a Boudoir low-click advertiser, a BLCA. So universe taking shape now. A BLCA with BLCS is caused by the 3 pre-click mistakes. We also know that BLCS is treated with Boudoir pre-click optimization, aka Boudoir Pico, and treatment takes about a week. And actually treatment is just simply done by duplicating the current ad, the one with BLCS, and applying treatment to the duplicated ad. And then, after treatment, look at the data and simply keep running whichever one has the best metrics. And once you're with Boudoir Pico, we now have pre-click alignment. So there we go on the right side. And pre-click alignment activates Boudoir brain entry boost in our Boudoir Facebook ads. AKA, we got our unique CTRL above 6%. And a Boudoir Facebook advertiser with Boudoir brain entry boost is a dominant Boudoir advertiser, a DBA. All right, so here's our full universe. BLCA with BLCS is caused by the 3 pre-click mistakes. Treated with Boudoir Pico takes about a week. And that activates pre-click alignment, and we become a dominant Boudoir advertiser with Boudoir brain entry boost. All right, so now some data from my residency and also with a patient. So first part of my residency, went out, found a Boudoir Facebook ad, unique CTRL of 4.3%. Basically, I took it, tested it on my own. So, okay, unique CTRL is under 6%. We know that BLCS is present, Boudoir Low-Click Syndrome. So I duplicated it, treated that duplicated ad with Boudoir Pico, took about a week, and got the unique CTRL up to 6.88%. So instead of our ad only getting into like 4 out of 100 women's brains, it actually gets into, nearly 7 out of 100 women's brains. And it's going to the same audience, same cold audience, people that have never seen us before. So we found out they were actually wasting 37% of ad spend every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year. So if they're spending 10 grand a month on Boudoir Facebook ads, $3,700 of that every single month was being wasted. So now we can reduce our spend by $3,700 a month, pocket that, so 40 grand for the first year, and actually kind of have that as a, well, it's like an extra profit, or at least money not spent that was being wasted, because our ad is now getting into the same number of women's brains for way less ad spend. Our next part of my residency, went out and found one. This is at 1.39% unique CTRL. So we knew that since unique CTRL is under 6%, BLCS is present, Boudoir Low-Click Syndrome. So again, I duplicated it, treated it with Boudoir Pico, the duplicated ad, took about a week, and got the unique CTRL up to 9.13%. So above 6%, Boudoir brain entry boost is activated. We found out that 84% of their ad spend was being wasted on the old ad. So if they're spending 10 grand a month on Boudoir Facebook ads, then $8,400 a month was being wasted. So they cut out that waste, pocket that, and what's that? That's literally like 100 grand of profit in the next 12 months simply by not wasting that ad spend, and get their ad into the same number of women's brains by simply spending $1,600 a month on the Boudoir Pico treated ad versus spending 10 grand a month on the old ad with BLCS. All right, finally had a patient, 5.03% unique CTR all, okay, under 6%, so we know BLCS is present. Duplicate, actually did a lot more work on this one actually. Treated with Boudoir Pico, took about a week, and found out he was wasting 67, or at least the old ad was wasting 67% of his ad spend. So if he spent 10 grand a month on Boudoir Facebook ads, he can now decrease his spend by $6,700 a month, pocket that 80 grand in the next year, literally like an added bonus or added profit by simply not wasting it, and use the new Boudoir Pico treated ad and get his ad into the same number of women's brains at $3,300 a month spend compared to his old ad that was spending 10 grand a month. So from my data, my testing on the real universe, the average Boudoir Facebook ad with BLCS is wasting about half of its ad spend. I mean, we can look at the numbers here, 37%, 84%, 67%. The average there is between 50 to 60%. So if spending 10 grand a month on Boudoir Facebook ads, average 5 grand a month is being wasted right now, 60 grand in the next year. All right, so let's look at this, see if my diagnosis, if this does have Boudoir Low-Click Syndrome or not. So first we'll look below the creative, or where the photo should be or could be. Yeah, we got low-click cluster, or below creative cluster down here, below creative cluster mistake. The false belief that caused us to make this mistake is we believe that we're trusting what Facebook is telling us to fill out when we set up our ad is actually what we should fill out for best results. And actually, when we fill these things out, Facebook makes more money because more women scroll by our ads faster, allowing Facebook to serve more ads per unit time and earn more money. So, consequence of making the below creative cluster mistake is way more women scrolling by our ads than necessary, and our ads are not entering their brain. So then we know when that happens, those women will never ever be able to buy from us. No creative, no photo, which actually could be okay. Because a lot of photos that I've been seeing, they are causing more women to scroll on by than necessary. So maybe it's, instead of making the mistake, we never have a photo in the first place. But obviously the best is most likely be a photo without the mistake. So we'll move straight up to the headline. Our See More headline, first 2 3/4 lines, Facebook newsfeed mobile. So let's see, we got Boudoir session giveaway, ladies, it's time to celebrate Chio. All right, so the only point of context we got up here is solution, get my solution here, and then I guess ladies. But yeah, we got the lack of context mistake here. So the false belief that caused us to make this mistake is we believe our current See More headline, which this is the only stuff that actually shows up on the ad until they click the ... see more, and that opens the rest of the text underneath. So we're believing this is enough context to get the optimal number of women to be clicking into our ad, the right women, and that is 100% incorrect. So the consequence of this, yeah, way more women are going to be scrolling by than necessary. So most likely, yeah, looking at everything, I believe this Boudoir Facebook ad does have Boudoir Low-Click Syndrome, aka BLCS. And so if you're running Boudoir Facebook ads, spending more than 10 grand a month, and you decided it's finally time, you gotta crank out some more profit in your business, because new women, or basically anyone with an iPhone is coming into the market offering boudoir photography anyways, and more commodities, margins are shrinking, We need more revenue. We need more profit, and everything else you have tried. You've tried everything else, and BLCS is the last thing you've not tried. You decided now you gotta, lock in some savings, or at least cut the wasted spend. And you actually want to have your BLCS in your Boudoir Facebook Ads trio with Boudoir Pico. Then I am opening slots for new patients the final day of this month. So my DMs will be open then. My DMs are closed right now. So if you do want to get the outcome of saving, approximately 50% on your ad spend and get your ads into the same number of women's brains as when spending 10 grand a month, we can probably save you around 5 grand a month, 60 grand in the next, in the next year. So yeah, new patient intake starts the final day of this month. And that's the only time I have planned for it to be open then. So DM me then.